Good morning and welcome to another vlog. This week we are starting week 8 of the Artist Way. Although I have to be honest, I am losing steam dramatically. The big goals for today is that last week I recorded the 6-month update of my DIY planner. So I need to edit that. I think I have around 30 minutes recorded for that. So hopefully it won't take too long to edit. I don't know if I will want any extra B-roll or anything to add to the video. So that might make it take a little bit longer. Besides editing the video, I would also really like to start the painting. I have the board sitting right next to me in hopes of motivating me to start it. For that, I need to print out the sketch and transfer it onto the board I'll use graphite transferring paper, and then it'll be ready to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to do an underpainting yet or not, so I'll need to decide that before I get started as well. But before I get started on editing, I wanted to show you a couple of my pottery pieces that I got back this week. Not everything came out good, but these two things came out pretty good. My first cup, which has a little star on it, and my first bowl. The bottom's not perfectly flat, but yeah, two things. I had my coffee out of this cup last night and it was really nice. It's honestly a little thick and a little heavy, but it was really cool to drink out of something that I made. And since I'm getting towards the end of my course, this week is going to be week 7, so I'm going to try to go to as many of the open studio hours as I can. So I should be going 4 times this week, which means I will probably get less work done, but I still have a good amount of clay left, so I really want to work through getting as much as I can thrown so that it has time to be fired and everything, so I have stuff to work on glazing next week. But that's all. I need to get to work now. I have some packages coming today, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully one of them is my glasses, and I'm really excited, but I will update you in a bit. Hello, this is the first test of the new microphone I'm not sure how the volume will be. I'm doing this test with the window open, so it's actually super loud in here. So I'm curious to see how that will sound. It's also extremely hot, so I don't want to close the window. Seattle is in a heat wave right now. I think tomorrow it'll be really hot as well. It's been really hard to work. I was supposed to finish editing yesterday and I didn't. It got too hot and I just couldn't focus. It was too hot. So I didn't do that. But I've actually had a very productive day today. I woke up first thing this morning and went to the pottery studio for the open studio hours. I was able to throw one bowl on the wheel. I did a little bit of trimming and then I did a little bit of maintenance on my reclaimed clay. Hopefully set me up really well for the next time I go in. I'm hoping to go in on Thursday. I want to go in a lot of times this week, so hopefully Thursday and Saturday I'll go in. I don't know if I'll go in any other times, but that's the goal for right now. Need to get anything I want to be fired done as quickly as possible in hopes that it has time to get through before I'm no longer going to class. I'm thinking get everything made that I want to make this week in hopes of finishing it in time. Hello, it is now Wednesday and I just posted my video. It's a planner update, a 6-month update of using my notebook. Nobody asked for it and I don't think it's going to do very well, but I did want to make it, so I did. Now I'm finally going to actually get started on the painting that has been staring at me that I was so excited to get started on and still somehow have yet to do. First step for that is I need to get on my iPad and export the sketch. I'm going to print that out on my printer and then use graphite paper to transfer it. So this is what I'm going to export. I need to see actually how big I want it to be. I think the board is 9 by 12 inches. Are these the same color? So the board is 9 by 12 inches. If I print this out on printer paper, like as big as it will go, yeah, I think that works. So far, I think the best part about this mic has just been that I can be a little bit more hands-free and I can move around and do stuff. Before, I had to have my mic like sat on my table and then I couldn't bump my table and I had to make sure I was actually like speaking very into it. It was always in frame and I'm really excited to see if I can be a little bit more flexible now that I have this microphone. So I went over the board with some tinted gesso. I didn't really like how the paint was sitting on the wooden panel, and I gave it a sand, and then I did a new layer of tinted gesso for the board. I tried to go over the sketch very lightly so that I could still see it underneath, ready to paint. I'm nervous because it's acrylic and not gouache, and it's much harder for me, but time to get started. I don't really know how to use acrylic, so this is where we're at and how it's going. A lot more green than I imagined, but I'm hoping that maybe I can go over with a wash of a more fleshy color and see if that kind of fixes it a bit. Before I stop for the day, I think I'm just gonna fill in a block color for the hair. This is how the palette is looking, and yeah, I wouldn't say I'm having fun. I'm just kind of like smushing paint around, but from back here it's not terrible either, and I'm hoping as I add more and more layers it kind of evens out a bit. Okay, I'm stopping here for the night. I have all my supplies cleaned up and sat there. I kind of hate it, but it's a start at least, and I think a lot of the tones are okay, not too bad. Will work for adjusting at least. Now I need to finish tidying up my desk. It's not too bad, luckily, and the sun is finally starting to go down, so I'm going to relax a bit and watch a C-drama. I don't know, maybe. It's the right color. Hello, it is the next day now. I think the last thing you saw was me working on some video editing, which I did for the most of yesterday, and will probably be what I do for most of the day today as well. Tomorrow and Sunday I will just be going to the open studio hours and also one of my last classes, so I won't really have anything to share with you. So this is the end of this this vlog. If you haven't already and you like this kind of video, please subscribe, like the video if you liked it, and I will see you soon for the next one. Bye!